What is going on, beautiful Moldavite familia? I am super excited to share this video with you, called and based on your Moldavite ratio, which is basically talking about what is the perfect number for you. How many grams of Moldavite do you need to feel at your best, at your tip top, the perfect number, guys. Now, I want to compare this to the story of Goldilocks and the three bears, right? Like when she went into their house, she was tasting the porridge, and one of them was too hot, one of them was too cold, and one was just right. Now, how does this relate to Moldavite? Now, in my personal experience, when I wear too much Moldavite, it can be overwhelming not only for myself but the people around me, and I become invisible. Okay? Just like when dogs can only hear certain high pitched frequencies that other human beings are not able to hear, it's the same thing at times when you wear a lot of Moldavite. You could be trying to communicate with people, but your voice is on such a high frequency and your whole being is on a high frequency that sometimes you become invisible. Now, on the other side of that spectrum, if you're not wearing enough, you can feel very drained. You can be at a very lower frequency where you can sometimes even get depressed. Okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but this last time that I took all my Moldavite off, I kind of felt a little bit, depressed. It was almost like having withdrawal symptoms and just figuring out like why. My body needed that energy because in this 3D world, sometimes certain places just drain the life out of you if you don't have this Moldavite protection. Now, the perfect ratio, guys, is where you're not too high or too low, just right in the middle, just like when Goldilocks found that perfect, you know, not too hot, not too cold porridge, which is what I recommend everyone trying to find that perfect Moldavite ratio for you. Now, I realized that actually maybe your age can be the right number of grams that you can use for your personal body, your mind, and your soul, and your journey when you're working with Moldavite. Now, this can also be applied to when you're working in the dream state, working when you go to sleep when you work with Moldavite. You can also journal and document, which is what I recommend everyone doing, having some type of way to document this to see whether adding more Moldavite while you sleep enhances your dreams, enhances what you're trying to get out of the dream state versus maybe using less, and eventually finding that perfect number where you're like, all right, I'm on point, I'm getting to do what I need to do in my dreams or whatever it is that you're working on, right? It doesn't have to just be the dream state. It could be certain chakras that you're working on, maybe your brow, your crown, your heart. You're trying to do something, grow, heals that part of yourself, and you need to have that perfect number to really get the benefits out of working with Moldavite. Now, one of the clearer ways that I can see whether I'm using too much Moldavite or not is the pitch of my voice. When I start to wear too much Moldavite, my voice automatically just becomes a higher pitch. And when I literally wasn't wearing any Moldavite, my voice completely dropped. And it's so much easier to drop when I'm not wearing Moldavite. So now I'm wearing 33 grams of Moldavite, where it's literally like perfect right now. Like I'm still able to function. People can feel me. Dogs are still feeling this energy. They absolutely love it. People love the energy, but I'm not overwhelmed by it either. It's not too much. And aside from wearing a grounding stone, which is what I recommend everyone still using, is using a grounding stone, you'll start to see how much easier it is for you to function in the day-to-day world. Not only that, guys, like you'll feel good, right? You'll still feel good. You'll be able to function and wait for the magic to happen. Because like I said, you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low, you want it just right at that good sweet spot. Kind of like when you're getting a massage, if you ever gotten a professional massage, they'll ask you whether it's too much pressure or not enough pressure, and then you want to hit that sweet spot where you're like, oh my gosh, like that feels amazing. And that's what I'm talking about here in this video, guys. The Moldavite ratio. What is your Moldavite ratio? If you are guided to share in this video, please do so in the comments below. I'm curious to see what everyone's number is, because at the end of the day, guys, this number can be always fluctuating on a day-to-day schedule, so to speak, on a day-to-day basis. It's just life. If you're always growing, you're always evolving, it'll change throughout the seasons of your life, and you always got to be paying attention to that to stay in the rhythm of the flow of your personal energy and your journey, which is why I recommend you start paying attention to your Moldavite ratio and see how those numbers change or whether they stay the same. So, guys, share in the comments below what your Moldavite ratio is. Right now, mine is 33. I will be keeping track of this to see if it changes throughout time. And yeah, I send you guys so much love. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. See ya.